What's up guys, Tony Hannity's here from Lazy Tech TV, and today we're going to take a look at a pretty unique Bluetooth alarm clock and speaker. This is the Divoom Timebox-Mini. Stay tuned. So what makes this little guy so unique is for the fact that it is a pixel art speaker. So you have 121 individual pixels here that you can do pretty much anything that you want within the whole pixel realm. So right now, obviously you've got the time, you can do the temperature, weather, you can have different light effects, you can even do a whole, well, if you wanted to, a whole message, or in this case, an Elmo. And a lot of that has to do with the appropriating application from Divoom. It is the free app available for Android and iOS. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the hardware just a little bit. There we go. Matches my shirt. So this is the Mini. They have a standard size, or the time box as they call it, and it's obviously it's going to be bigger than this, but essentially the feature set is in parity to the Mini. They both have the same amount of pixels, just a little bit bigger on the time box, and this one doesn't have a full set of buttons on the top as the time box has, and it doesn't have the FM radio. But if you're okay with all that, this is not a bad little device. It fits in the palm of the hand. It has a rubberized texture to it, so I wouldn't necessarily call it water resistant, but if you have it poolside, I think you should be fine. Just don't submerge it. Like I mentioned, on the top, not a lot of buttons, but you've got your pause play button as well as your volume control. On the right side, your right, my left, you've got the brightness control as well as the power switch. And on the back, you have both auxiliary in and out separately, as well as your micro USB charging. Now, I would wish this to be USB Type-C charging because that's going to charge a little bit faster, but it is what it is. I still have a bunch of micro USB cables lying around, so at least they're gonna go to some good use. So like I said, primarily this is a speakerphone, so let's just hear how it sounds like.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing in there?
So not bad. Earlier today I was on a conference call and I could hear them fine, they could hear me fine with the microphone that's on here. Couldn't be too far away, obviously, because it is Bluetooth. You have to be within Bluetooth proximity with your device and the speaker, so there's that. But it is a 5-watt speaker, so being indoors it's going to sound great. In a cubicle it's going to sound pretty loud. Being outside, it's going to dissipate a little bit quicker, but if, like I mentioned earlier, if you're poolside, it should be fine. Just somewhere at the beach or in a very much open area like a park, it might not be loud enough to get the party started, if you would. But yeah, I'd say this is a really nice room speaker, which means it's pretty much very good for almost any room of the house that you're gonna be in. As I mentioned, a lot of the magic is gonna happen on the application. So let's bring up the app here. So the app, you're gonna see a lot of different options right off the bat. Well, actually, first, the thing is gonna have you log in with an account, whether you make a real one or a fake one, or even go in as guest. But I recommend, if you do get this, create an account, whether it's real or fake, because you can take full advantage of their chat program. Now, here's where it loses a little bit of the coolness to me, in that the chat program is specific to this application, to this speaker, and it's a one-to-one chat. So one thing is, it is private. You're not going to see it anywhere else. You're not going to have the chat functionality on a website or anything else. You have to use this app with this speaker, and you can share that chat with another person, but it is just one other person. So I could share it with my wife if I wanted to. And so the cool thing is she can send me cute little emojis or GIFs or GIFs, and they would pop up on here when I get home into Bluetooth proximity again. It'd be nice. That's kind of cool. But then again, she already does that on Facebook chat. And yes, that's not private, but to layer on another chat program on top of all the other programs that we use just seems to be a little bit much. But hey, if you want to be able to do that, this gives you that functionality. The other thing too here, you've got music, which you heard earlier. You have weather that gives you a full weather report of the next few days. You have voice messages, which allows you to leave a voice message in the saved memory bank of the speaker. So it only has 120 megabytes of storage, so it's not going to be a huge message, but it could be a cute little message I could leave for my wife or leave for my kid when he comes home. And then the next part is where most of the creativity comes out to play. So you have design here, and this is where you can design anything. So you can make happy faces, It's a really weird happy face. In fact, this is my daughter making designs earlier, and she just loves to draw, and she really liked the fact that she could draw on the phone and then it would just automatically pop up on here. As you'll notice, there are some dead pixels that appear in her drawing, but they won't appear in mine. That's just kind of a fluke of the LEDs here, and it happens to be the same pixels. If they do die, it always happens to be those same pixels, so it might be an issue with this particular unit, but I did notice that. And then you have your animation. If you want to make animated GIFs or animated GIFs, this gives you that capability to do that. I don't have the time or patience to be able to do that, but if you go into the full community, you can actually see other GIFs and GIFs and emojis and animations that people have made. So here's a bird, because why not? Here's city rain, if it's raining. It's kind of cool. People take their time to do these animations and, you know, share it with other people that have these speakers. I think that's kind of nice. What I did was I made a tree, because that's pretty much the only thing I can make. So I'm not the most creative person, but if you are out there and you want a way to show your creativity off in a cool pixel way, this is a really nice function to do that. And then the last two rows are a little bit lost on me. I'd say about 90% lost on me. Planner. It allows you to create day planner events and reminds you on here, but it doesn't let you import your calendar from Google or Microsoft or anything else, so you'd have to create their own individual planning events. Sleep, now this was actually really useful, the sleep aid, so you can have, you know, white noise, background noise, or you could have little music as you're trying to sleep, which I did like. So this is midnight, this is meditate, and as you can see here, you have different time allotments, so it'll automatically shut off in 15, 30 minutes or whatever. You could even, you know, turn the volume down, change the ambiance on the light. Alarm, that's pretty self-explanatory. You have tools, which weirdly has stopwatch, with alarm and stopwatch should be in the same application, and memorial calendar should be in planner, I think. Scoreboard should be in games, which is next or after this, but notifications is the other really cool thing. So if you have notifications coming through on your phone, you want them to be mirrored on here, it's not going to show you the actual text of those notifications. Well, it will show you are these different images of Facebook icons or Twitter icons or even incoming call icons to let you know what's going on, and you can take action in the sense that you say, oh, I have a Facebook message, and then pull out your phone or just use your computer. But it's kind of cool, it's kind of nice. Game. This is where if you're completely bored, you can play games. So this is kind of like their slot machine game. That's the first time I've ever won. These are just passing the time kind of games. But then again, this is where the app really kind of gets a little busy and discombobulated and very confusing. So this is the home page. That's all on one homepage. And then next to that you have Discover, which really just shows you other products that Divoom creates, which is fine. It's their own product, but weird. And then you have the Sun button, and I call it the Sun button because there's nothing else to tell you what that main button is. And that's where you have more functionality to be able to control on here. So you have your clock, you have the time, or rather you have your temperature, you have a light show in which you can change the different color that is showing on here. So I could have yellow if I wanted to. Yeah, yellow. Or I could have a whole like light show. Like I said, that's kind of cool to come home to. You have a whole drum pad, but because it's a Bluetooth thing, it's not on beat of what you want. It's just not in sync. So it just sounds, and it's really bad, but So what's the synopsis for this guy? For a Bluetooth speaker, thumbs up. For a Bluetooth speakerphone, thumbs up. For the fact that you have interactive pixel art, thumbs up. The other stuff I think makes it way too busy. I don't think anyone's really gonna use it as a calendar. The notifications is cool, but again, it's like getting notifications on a smartwatch. There's only so much that you can do, and you still have to take your phone out or go to a computer to actually do some actionable action on it. So it loses its functionality there too. And because you have to be in Bluetooth range, this is already going to be there. So it's like, I know I have a notification. My phone already just told me. And the games, that's just, it's just packing stuff into the application to make this work. And I don't think anyone's really going to be playing the games. I mean, I can see once in a while, hey, I need to roll die and I don't have any die here. This does, so that's cool. But it's like one of those off chance things that you might actually use it. So, and again, I can download a die game on here and then just uninstall it when I don't need, I don't know. I think they have a lot to work on when it comes to their application, but I see where they're going. And I think as a speakerphone, the sleep notification, or rather the sleep aid functionality, is actually really, really nice and really cool to have all in one. And yeah, I would say give it a shot. It's not that expensive, but here's the rub. It's also not very easy to find. I mean, you can buy it on Amazon, but that seems to be the only place that you can buy it. But some of the other pixel art speakers that are out there do tend to be a lot more expensive. So see how you feel about this. Let me know if you have any other questions or comments related to the Timebox or even the Timebox Standard. This is the Timebox-Mini. These do come in a multitude of different colors, so maybe you'll find one that suits your style, if you will. And leave that in the comment section below. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow, obviously, Lazy Tech TV on all those networks as well, too. And we'll see you in the next one. Later.